Hi, everybody. Donna Meador here. Welcome back to this documentation of my mediumship journey. I'm just an ordinary woman doing an extraordinary documentation of something that I actually never thought possible till I heard Suzanne Giesman say it a year ago, January, that you don't have to be born a medium to actually be one. And I was like, isn't that interesting? So I was called and pulled, and it was just so clear to me that I was going to start to learn this journey, and today I am documenting it. Today's topic is going to be about what do we do if negative spirit shows up or evil shows up. This seems to be a big concern, and I certainly understand why. So let me just back up a little bit that my own this is I'm not educated. I don't have degrees in this stuff. I've just been curious my whole life, and I have literally had experiences. Back in the 70s, I used to go to psychics and palm readers and all kinds of paraphernalia things paraphernalia, is that the right word? Extraordinary things that were coming out about the 70s and 80s. And I do remember one very explicit time where at the time, I was renting an apartment in what they called at that time, an old carriage house. So it was back in the day, it was used where they stored the horses and the carriages, and upstairs there was a little apartment. And I remember one day, at that time, I was a flight attendant for People Express Airlines, if anybody's ever heard of them. And I used to fly for them and work for them. And I came home, I was exhausted, I fell asleep, and I woke up with this very clear, scary entity presence. I couldn't see anything. I could sense the direction of where this was coming, and I became immediately frightened. Immediately frightened. So I just said, I love God, you are not welcome here. I love God, you are not welcome here. And it went away. And I never had the experience again. Now, was it evil? I don't know. But that's what I sensed. That's how I reacted. So now, if we fast forward all these years later, um, 30 years later, wow, and I hear Suzanne Giesman talk about mediumship, I then start to research, I become curious, and I start to dig into courses. And it turned out that the Shift Network was putting on a course, and Suzanne Giesman was affiliated with it, along with Jean Else, who was the partner, wife of Mavis Patilla, who was a renowned medium for 50 years, who's now crossed over. But because of Jean's ability to record, and she was very into the techie world, even back then, we are getting trained by Mavis Patilla herself, which is really quite fascinating. So there was a trustworthy aspect. I tell you that because I had trustworthy aspect, right? Like I saw Suzanne, I watched her videos for about a year on YouTube before I came across this. And now that I started documenting it and sharing it on YouTube, people are kind of asking me, well, what about the evil spirits? I understand the question, and I also will say that there are evil spirits in life. People can be evil. We have free will. And when, especially to my understanding, and again, I am not asking you to believe the way I believe, but to my understanding that when um, we maybe don't understand our own worth and the love that God has for us, or the universe, or spirit, whatever you would like to call this incredible, powerful energy, consciousness, actually, then we tend to take a turn and we go into our free will. It goes a little bit of awry, goes awry. Now, I'm not here to be philosophical with you. I'm not going to quote the Bible or any other religious documentation. I'm simply going to share with you my innate feeling that I've had my whole life about right and wrong, good and bad. And I am not worried or concerned about evil spirit because I don't welcome them in. And there is a law in the spirit world that says if they're not asked to join us, they can't. So I always will preface by saying those who are here for my highest good are welcome to join me, welcome to share with me. And I have had very beautiful connections with people. Yes, people from across the veil, people who I have learned to trust in this short place because we're only talking a few months in of learning this. Well, actually, it's 6 months now, but it's been a lot of learning, understanding, so that when you are presented with spirit, you can embrace spirit. You can discern whether it's positive or negative, or what's the personality, or that kind of thing. Because again, it's consciousness, and we are all connected. Every single one of us is connected. And through this experience, I will tell you, I have embraced and I feel God's love even more because I understand that I was created by the same consciousness that created worlds. So why wouldn't I embrace this part of me that has been tucked away for so long? So this is my experience. And I have heard stories. But again, this channel is about what I am personally experiencing. So if you would like to dig up and research more about negative entities and about them and learn about them. And again, it's not an entity that's negative, it's a person who has possibly misinterpreted their purpose here or what they were looking for and so forth. So you can follow. I make no I have shared even in my description that I'm a follower of Dr. Sue Morter, Suzanne Giesemann, Dr. Joe Dispenza. I mean, those two, Sue Morter and Joe Dispenza, bring science and spiritualism together. It's just fascinating. Suzanne Giesemann used to be in the Navy. I mean, talk about a left brain only, and hierarchy and all that. And if you follow her on YouTube, you will begin to learn and understand what I am beginning to learn to understand. The only difference is I actually joined the course, and yes, I am able to connect with those people beyond the veil. Now, there are rules to it, kind of. You can't just go get somebody. You have to make an invitation and then who steps forward. So this is in itself is fascinating. But so far, I have personally connected with a boy who was about 16 to 18 years old. I've connected with a couple of grandparents who had messages for their loved one. I connected with a man in his 40s. And through my dreams, I even connected with my beloved puppy, Luigina, who proves that she's here because she continues to pee on the floor for me. Much to my husband's chagrin, says, "Can you tell her to stop?" But she does know not to pee on the furniture and not to pee on rugs, so it's all good. It's just a matter of wiping up some pee off some tile. But this is my journey, and thanks for pulling up a seat. And yes, I understand the question about negative and evil entities. I also understand I'm protected because of God's love. And that is what I surround myself with. Thank you for joining. We'll see you in the next video.